So here we have Garvey's roof storage shed. It comes in 2 boxes. We're going to go ahead and do a time lapse of me unboxing it and setting the whole thing up, and then I'll give you my thoughts on my overall review of it, including like the setup, if it took long, were the instructions unclear, and then my review of the actual product itself. A little tip that I have for you when you buy this storage shed is when you start unwrapping everything, put the pieces in order of their numbers. So like put P1 next to P2 and P2 next to P3 and so on and so forth. It makes things really nice and cuts the time that you would use in searching for the pieces that you need. So you will need some tools. It looks like you need a drill, screwdriver, measuring tape, gloves. I mean, I don't really think the gloves are necessary. And a rubber mallet, a ladder, and then it also recommends, if you want, which I am not going to do, you can level the ground with either option A or option B, which I'm just not going to do that. My yard is plenty flat, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Also, this shed does come with 2 wedge tools. You will use those a ton in the assembly of this shed, so do not lose those because you'll use them a lot. And it also recommends that you have 2 people setting this up. I just ignored that for the first little bit, and I was able to get, to a point, but as you can see, my wife did have to join in helping me set this up because you absolutely will need 2 people. There's no way that I could have done this on my own. There's just too many things that would have been so difficult to figure out if you were by yourself. So use 2 people, learn from my mistake, use the wedge tools as well, and you'll see what I mean when you buy this shed. And understand that this will take quite a while to set up. I think it took my wife and I combined time about 5.5, 6 hours to set up. And it partially was because some mistakes that we made. The number one mistake that you need to not make is ensure that all the panels are deep in their adjacent joints. Make sure that they're right in the pocket, and you'll see what I mean when you buy this shed, because the nature of the assembly of this shed is if one part is not fully inside its joint, it affects the entire structure. Kind of like when you stop a leak and then another leak springs somewhere else, you fix that, then another leak springs somewhere else. You have to make sure that everything is airtight in the construction of this outdoor shed, or else everything just gets messed up. So don't make the same mistake we did. And yeah, you'll probably save a lot more time than we used. Okay, here we have the shed all finished. So it takes quite a bit of time, but something like this, well, you do it. I would expect to have some time to set up, but it's pretty dang nice. As you set this thing up, it's going to not feel as sturdy, okay? But that's only because the way that this shed is designed, it uses pressure from all 4 corners to keep it stable. So as you're setting this up, you're not having pressure on the roof, or you're not having pressure from the opposite side. But once it's all put together, it's much more sturdy. So rest assured, when you buy this, don't feel like it's not very sturdy as you're setting it up and you're getting a little worried. It's pretty dang nice. As you can see, I'm kind of pushing on it, and it's all pretty stable, which is nice. And yeah, you got the nice air vents up top, real good, and another air vent on top. So, but one major piece of advice is you set this up, make sure that every panel is in its joint fully. So, for example, I made a mistake. I did not do what I just advised you to do, and it caused this panel to not be seated correctly with this bar joint, but this joint right here. And that is because right here, I made a mistake. I did not seat it properly. If you see here, right here, this was not seated in this joint properly. So ensure that every single joint, every single panel is fully inside the adjacent joints. Because if you don't, then it messes the whole, it can mess the whole thing up. So just make sure you do that. Don't make the same mistake I did. In this shed, it has plenty of space for putting wood in. You could put your kids' toys in here. That's actually what we're planning on doing. We're planning on putting our kids' bikes and ride-ons and rollerblades in here, because there really is plenty of room to put that stuff like that inside here. But it's pretty nice. It's pretty spacious. You're in the corner right now, and there's quite a bit of space in here. So yeah, this is a great little shed. It's got a nice little window, and it's pretty stable too. So kind of pushing this from side to side is moving not very much. So, but yeah, this is a good shed. If you're looking for a good quality shed, one that can do the tasks of what I mentioned before, I don't think you're going to go wrong with this one. I think you're going to do just fine. It just set a good amount of time to the side and making sure that it's set up properly. Don't make the same mistakes I did. But yeah, overall, it's a good solid shed. So if you're looking to get it yourself, I for sure recommend it. It's pretty good.